All right, guys. Now I'm recording. So I wanted to talk about, and again, make this interactive. So pop in when I ask some questions. The anytime that you're in something, you either start, you talk about where you started or where you ended. And you got to keep juggling those two or thinking about those two in this industry because you never stop learning. But what I want to keep in this circle, in this gray circle, is everybody either starts or ends with an idea. And with the word idea, you could use the word strategy. I didn't want to type these in. I wanted to put up strategy. Don't make fun of my spelling. I was in e-learning when I went to school. Opinion, same thing. Different words again, my opinion, these are different words that say the same thing. Bias. All right. So setup, another one. All these things are words that, in my opinion, mean the same thing. Whatever identifies it better with you, great. You have an idea the market's going to go up. You have an idea that your opinion, rather, is bullish. Your bias is up. Your setup is to buy it when this happens. Strategy. All these things, these 5 words mean the same thing. So inside this circle, type in what leads to an idea. Not qualifies it. What builds on an idea? What concepts, and I'll give you guys a second, what concepts, throw them out there, there's no wrong answer, could feed into this. All right? What could feed into it? Let me draw a little cute circles. You guys got to be interactive. What could start giving you an idea? Yeah, but Ron, that's too general. What gave you that? All right, here's some good ones. A volume spike. I like it. A volume spike. A retest. I like it. A test or a retest. John, what was yours? Hold on. A range. All right. I like it. There could be a range that gives you an idea. A chart pattern. Listen, I'm a lefty and I'm writing with the mouse with my right hand. That ain't bad. This ain't bad. A head fake, that would fall under pattern. Iceberg. I think we could do this with these ideas. Let's just draw a big one here and connect this. There's a lot of your ideas could fall under order flow, because someone says iceberg, that could be reading order flow. Fading delta, I think, to me, is part of reading order flow, right? I think that was someone's answer. Fading delta. Stuck sellers is reading order flow. Stuck seller. We got stuck seller, also stuck buyer. A trend line target, let's just call it a target, right? Could be from a trend line, but targets that you think it's going to go to. A measured move. We'll call targets like magnets. I think good targets, when you call them magnets, especially if target works, it was a magnet, right? Big buyers and sellers, I think, could be here. Big buyers and sellers is part of order flow. That could give you an idea. So when I was coming up with mine, I conflated, just like you guys are, qualifiers with ideas. Okay. Order flow could give you an idea and give you a qualifier all in one. Absorption, that's one in the order flow circle. Relationship. Here's a couple that you guys haven't said that I had. Relationships. and I don't mean between you and your spouse, but between markets to market could give you an idea. If someone said it, I apologize, I didn't see it. I had order flow. I had the testing and retesting as someone else had. How about initial balance? Let's just say profile, right? Profile could give some people an idea. Not all people, but some people. Market profile, volume profile, right? That's a good one. Here's another one I had that nobody has yet, unless I missed it, is news, right? Fundamentals, fundamental news. And that could include economic numbers. It just, geopolitical news, that all falls under this circle or in this circle. Let's see if I missed any. Here's one under range, higher high, lower high. That could be under pattern or range. Shape or structure. Let me write that under pattern. You guys are participating more than I thought. Reversal. That to me could be I'm going to write in another one for that, because that could be a reversal, could be also called transition, right? Transition, reversal. Support resistance, whether it's edge zones or something else. Good one, Ron. That could give you an opinion or an area. So edge zones, support resistance, no matter how you come up with them. I think a real-time tweet or something would be good, and it's underneath news. Time of day. By an old dog floor trader. Paul, how you doing? He's an old dog floor trader. Time of day is what he said. Time of day could give you a opinion, an idea. Now, this is an interesting one. John says context. I'm more inclined to think context is another word for idea, right? That's a funny one, or a weird one. Here's one that I had that you guys don't have or didn't have. Not that you should have, because there's a lot of good ones in here I didn't think of. But community could give you an idea. All right. Let's not just think of an idea right now or today or in the next hour or what you want to do next, but what could get you set off on creating and nurturing an idea? What can give you an idea to develop? Community does that. Certain coaching does that, right? Review and preview. I'm putting them all under the same thing. When you review and preview, could create a good idea based on maybe finding some of these other examples. Ed finds that astrology works. I like that. He's just joking, but be funny if it worked. There's another old dog. There's two old dog floor traders. If you don't like old dogs, I could call you old cats. I think that, yes, I think that's under news, economic numbers, or tweet, or no, relationships, individual stocks that move, right? Whether it's another index or an individual stock that moves, like Apple, like a bigger one, Apple, for example, could affect the indexes. So it's important to understand that. The leading lagging between indices rate is a good one. That's included in market correlations, market relationships. When I say review and preview, it's important to know that out of that could come an idea. If you don't review, you're limiting yourself in either massaging your idea or having one in the first place. If you're reviewing by yourself or with good people, there's a big difference in reviewing and reviewing with someone that's good, and then reviewing with someone that you don't like. I was talking to someone yesterday or the other day, and it was like, that's such a weakness in trading and in this industry, is having one-on-one review every day. But if you find someone that you kind of don't like, you're not going to, it's going to be no longevity. You have to like the person. They don't have to be super smart, super great, but obviously they need to know the market a little bit, and then they'll learn about you and your idea and strategy, and you'll learn about them and their strategy. But the review is what's powerful. And if you keep it to 30, 40 minutes a day and you like the person, you look forward to it, and it's like working out and having a workout buddy, because it's hard to exercise if you're not exercising. It's hard to get in shape when you're not exercising. I guess that's a better way to put it. Well, that's where I'm getting to, Mike. The whole point is they're all of these circles and all of this kind of graph that we built was, or is, all could be placed under, the idea creates a ready. There's some aims and fires all in here. And like I said earlier, some of these create the idea and execute the idea all in one. And there's no right or wrong answer. What's important, and one of the goals of talking about this, is to get people to understand, first of all, idea, strategy, opinion, bias, setup. Don't get confused. They're all different things. They're all the same thing. It's a better way to say the same thing. I started thinking idea is a better way to explain it. What's your idea? You got an idea? Yeah, I'm bullish. Why? And then you can explore that out. But the other goal is that if you're having too many moments where the idea and the execution, usually the overlap is good, but if it's creating too many trades, then there's too much overlap between creating an idea and executing the idea. You have too many of them. If you have too many things that are going to create idea, guess what? You're going to have a lot of ideas, aren't you? So if there's too many things that you're using to create an idea, you're going to have a lot of them. And it's going to be hard to separate the ones that are working from the ones that aren't. You're going to miss ones that you shouldn't have taken, that you should have taken, and you're just going to have a bunch of Legos in a bucket tipped over. Yeah, those Legos there are a lot of good things we could do with these Legos, but they're all over the damn place. You got to start putting some of them together, getting rid of the ones that don't work, and whatever, organize. All of these are good, but if you used all of them to create an idea, you'd have a lot of ideas. If you had too much overlap with the idea, a hidden idea and an execution all at once, and that's creating too many trades, that's a problem. Where it's good is when a news event creates the idea and the ready, aim, fire in one, because it's a drastic change. Any drastic change, generally, you're going to have ready, aim, fire in the same moment, right? Something extreme happens, and Powell says he thinks that the Fed actually is way off base and inflation is going to become a real problem and we can't keep rates low. That's a drastic change and a big surprise. Ready, aim, fire, you're short. It did all three. In those moments, it's good. Where it becomes dangerous and counterproductive is if your guys are getting too many of them and you're getting confused and you're having too many opinions. And so the old saying is you don't always have to have an opinion. The other extreme is you have too many of them. Now, the other thing that I began to take from this. And I don't want to create, I'm gonna, if you guys like this, take a picture of it. It's obviously recorded, but I'm gonna erase it right now. And Mike makes a good point. What I just said about too many ideas or trying to create an idea happens in a low volume, kind of slow environment. And that's where you get trapped, trying to create something out of nothing. I'm going to erase this. And so when we have something to lead, the way I drew this up is ideas. Now stay with me on this because I'm thinking out loud as I'm redrawing it from my whiteboard. News could feed an idea, all right? But then news, like I just said, could feed a location all at the same time, all right? Relationships, like we said, could feed. You know what? Let's do this. This might kind of be more how I had it. Let's see if I could bring back the old drawings. Bam, look at that. So what do we have? News, where's the news at? News, from news could come a location. Your fire, ready, aim, fire, correct? Your location leads to generally execution. So the point is that that's the ready, aim, fire in one shot. And news and something splashing into the market that's a surprise can do that. But as you guys know, not all of these topics are ready, aim, fire all in one. And so you start to play with a profile gives you an idea, but does it give you a location? To me, not always a good one. In fact, that's the weakness of it, right? A profile gives you, for some people, great ideas, crappy locations. And then even tougher execution. Because part of execution is what? Not just playing value area high, but maybe a tick or two above it, below it, incorporating something else. Order flow and all these things could come all the way and feed location, right? Order flow could give you an opinion. It could give you a level, and then it could give you the execution. Not all the same order flow necessarily. I lost my picture. Oh, here it is. I took a picture of the whiteboard and I'm looking at that. Without building all of this out, here's the part that ultimately, and you could have lines drawn all over. All right. What gives you your opinion? What gives you the ready or the aim rather? And what gives you the fire? You have a bunch of examples in here. Now, all of this at some point should lead to a location, which leads to an execution down here. And this execution, you know what? Let's build some gray circles. Why are we screwing around? This one and this one. And let's actually, let's not get too cute. All of this execution leads to what? It's going to lead to trades. And what are these trades going to lead to? Results. And I think that the results should have, follow me here, trades lead to results. The results should have something to do with the damn idea, right? It's got to come back to the idea. How many times are you trading and the results aren't connected to the idea because the trade wasn't connected to the idea? There's a cut in the line. If it's not a circuit, you don't have any power. If we're talking electricity, there's got to be a return. And I guarantee you, with the part of the business that is people are weak at, is this one. This isn't an opinion, it's a fact. You guys haven't educated and talked to hundreds and maybe even more people and worked with people like I have over the last 8 years. And then prior to that in a prop firm for 8 years plus. So it's not an opinion, it's a fact. Common denominator weaknesses are objective review. Anybody could review and they're good on their own, but okay, you went to the gym, but you're on the treadmill for 10 minutes. You threw some weights around, looked at some girls in the mirror. You thought they were looking at you, but they weren't because I was there, and you thought you worked out. You barely sweat, right? That's not good review. That's not a good day at the gym. But you could actually do more in a lot less time if you're efficient. And I think the one-on-one stuff with a daily type one-on-one stuff is like a workout buddy for exercise. The goal is to get in shape when you're exercising, and the goal in this is to get profitable or get consistent and go from red to green or red to even. That's a great stride. And I think that after understanding that review is a problem, you find ways to solve it, because I think that what happens is this creates the understanding of whether or not you've got a good loop, or if there's some holes in or some cuts in the lines in your loop, and you're taking trades that aren't part of your strategy and they're killing you. They're killing you. You're making this really, really hard. It's not easy, and you're making it harder. That's why these weekly coaching sessions are important, because it's not a Q&A fest. That would get boring. You'd start listening to the same questions from newer people that are answered in good education, a good reference to stuff. There's always new stuff that we talk about and keep it fresh, because it's a different way to say the same thing. It's a different thing or something. Paul mentions it all boils down to a bet. You make a bet and you try to manage it from there. Again, what are you using to manage the bet? In blackjack and in craps, it's different. Those are games that the odds are against you, but you're still using some techniques to manage how much money you got on the table, how much you bet, how much you pull back, so on and so forth. He's managing his bet by pulling a card saying hit, stay. In trading, you're trying to create higher probabilities to your bet, but you're managing it. And the problem and one of the points I'm trying to make is, could you imagine if you're betting craps and you think you're betting blackjack? You got a big headache. But if you don't know what game you're playing, that's like making trades that don't fit an idea, and yet you think it does. Now, it's one thing to know you're not trading your idea and you're screwing it up. It's even worse when you think you're trading this original idea and you're far from it. That's more dangerous because you think you're on the wrong path and you're not. You're going to waste a lot of time going down it and probably a lot of money. Working with someone that finally identified mistakes he shouldn't take before he took them, stopped taking them, and it was an unbelievable amount of money he started saving. Saving money's like making money. So what did he get from those? He got two things from not taking trades he's not supposed to. Number one, less money he lost. And number two, he built on momentum and discipline. Going to the gym wasn't hard. It was effortless. Wanted to go. What's hard early becomes easier and becomes a distant memory. And you said, why was that so hard? Because you got to get some momentum. You have to recognize when you're doing something that's not working, stop doing it. You save money, time, effort, and then you build discipline and momentum in the right direction all in one. So I thought I'd share this week because I just threw stuff up on a whiteboard and it came together, and I thought it'd be interesting to share to get, number one, great interaction with you guys with the ideas of what would be connected to an idea and what would feed into an idea and then what feeds out of it. And you could do, your own, but you got to listen then. If you can't read the words in the boxes, you're going to have to go back and listen to the word. I said the word as I was writing it. I should get a pen or and a monitor that I could write on because I do write a lot nicer, but I'm writing with my right hand. I control a mouse with my right hand, but I write lefty, if you could believe that. So it's double hard. I should have a pen to write on here. I could write a lot neater. I can't use a left-handed mouse. It's unnatural to me. I bat righty, golf righty, shoot lefty, fight lefty, although I probably start lefty and then end up on the ground. I bet I could pick up a lefty mouse and no problem because I've got coordination in my left hand because I write and I eat lefty. I could switch hit. I could shoot a basketball lefty or righty. Maybe that's why I'm so humble. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today. See you tomorrow in the room. Keep your eyes and ears on what's going on. Headlines, because it could change us certainly in a heartbeat.